Hello beautiful people, I'm Jennifer Kenny and this video is about how can leaders encourage innovation, not by pushing, but by designing for trust. And that might seem a really odd thing for you, but we're going to expand on that and talk about that in this video. Do you want more innovation, but you keep getting silence in meetings? You're looking around the room and everyone's just looking back at you, nobody's saying anything. You're wondering why we value creativity, we value innovation, doesn't actually spark anything and make anything real happen. Everybody nods and gathers up their work and moves out of the room. I want to show you what leaders actually do to unlock innovation. By the end of this video, I want you to have 6 trust-building moves that actually support, encourage, and amplify innovation. There's been a lot of conversation about psychological safety in organizations, and the reason for that is that Google's Project Aristotle found that this was the #1 differentiator in high-performing teams. So a lot of people have glommed onto that idea and looked at how do we provide psychological safety. High innovation teams in general report that they have a high level of safety and a high level of trust. I want to talk to you about trust. I think psychological safety is a big thing to bite off. I think the foundation of that is trust. One of the things that we can absolutely do as leaders to really encourage innovation is to be able to create an environment where people feel that you as the leader can be trusted. You can be trusted to be consistent. You can be trusted to be fair. You can be trusted to declare breakdowns when they happen and deal with them without blame or shame. And so you can be the person who starts the ball rolling on really building an environment of trust. You can also be the person who helps other people through literally the coordination of action together to be able to create trust with each other. I was working with a team on the East Coast, and there was a new person who had randomly been put into a director level working session that I was doing, and I was thrilled to have him there because he was literally day one in the job. And he came up to me afterwards and he said, "I love this idea of systematically building trust. I love this idea of making offers to internal customers. I'm headed out to headquarters next week. Can you tell me 3 things that you would do if you were in my shoes?" Now, first of all, this was day one. That's a pretty smart question to be asking. And also to come with it through a compliment and a declaration of his interest and intent. But we had a good conversation around it, because what I said to him was, I said, if I was going out to do that and I was brand new on the scene, I would identify before I left 3 people that I wanted to build trust with, and that I wanted to start that process going, knowing that I would further it over the years. And he's probably going to be there for, 5 or 7 years, maybe 10 or 15, depending on how wonderful he finds it. But what I was looking at was identify 3 people you want to build trust with. And then we talked about, well, how do you go through the process of building trust? Building trust starts when you identify someone who you want to be a customer for some value that you're bringing to the table, and you actually offer to bring that value to them. When people get started doing this, I recommend that they start with something really small, because it's like any other muscle or any other practice that you do. You've got to do it in increments, and you've got to build yourself up to being truly competent or truly masterful at this process. If you want to follow in the footsteps of Project Aristotle and really understand that trust is absolutely foundational to high performance and to innovation, then starting off by recognizing trust as something that you want to build, and that you want to build systematically, that you as a leader want to be able to model for people, then helping people actually be able to go through the loop that I've talked about in other videos, or the cycle of building trust and the cycle of making offers and having conversations between customers and performers, is a fantastic place to start. I talked about the importance of failure in innovation in another video, and the thing to recognize in there is that you are looking to be able to create an environment where you can fail fast, where you can learn fast, where you can recover really quickly. Speed and velocity is really important in that environment. If you want to be able to create a space where it is safe for people to fail, and the focus on the failure is not on finding blame and shame, but on finding learning opportunities, what you're doing is you're creating an environment where failure isn't necessarily celebrated, but it is certainly acknowledged, but acknowledged with speed. It is recognized as a learning opportunity, and it is converted into how do we do things better going forward. That environment creates a space where people are always looking to the possibility and looking to the learning and looking to be able to create relationship with each other and with their internal and external customers. One of the things that I've noticed that leaders sometimes just kind of forget to do is to invite offers. So you can be in a meeting, there can be a whole lot of work that needs to be done, and depending on your own kind of style and predisposition, you might either assign it to people or you might take a bunch of it on yourself. One of the things that I found that's incredibly valuable if you're looking to cultivate innovation and encourage innovation is to solicit offers, to encourage offers, to actually sit on a conference call or sit at a table and say, okay, this is something important that needs to be done. It needs to be done in the next month or the next 3 months. Who in here would like to make an offer to lead that? Who in here would like to make an offer to make sure that that gets done successfully? And I don't fill the void. I don't try and talk as people are kind of looking at each other. I actually wait for them to make that offer to me. And what I do is I also say, I don't expect the offer to be fully baked. I don't expect you to have all of the answers. What I am inviting you to do is to offer to build an offer, to prepare an offer with me and with help from whoever else you think is relevant in order to commit to delivering on this work. So creating a space in which people can make offers is a very powerful practice if you want to be able to encourage innovation inside your organization or inside your team. One of the big catalysts for innovation as a practice in your organization is what I refer to as concerns-based listening. So lots of times what we do is we get super excited and we kind of get out over our skis and we get ahead of ourselves, and we look at big, grandiose offers that we want to make to people. And then we get completely stymied and bogged down in those offers. Lots of times I'll start a group who are looking to build trust with each other or with another cross-functional department. I will look at what are the breakdowns that are happening between them. And the reason why I do that in terms of asking the question, what's not working, is first of all, if you look to build trust with someone and you refuse to acknowledge what isn't working, it's going to be really hard for them to listen to you and really hard for them to trust you and really hard for them to take you seriously. If you are, for example, doing something that is interdisciplinary or cross-functional, and you start off with what's not working between our two groups or between two individual people, you clear the air, you get that out of the way. And you don't get it out of the way by just speaking about it. You get it out of the way by making offers around it, by making requests around it, by delivering value on it, and by closing it down. So I've got a meeting next week with 2 department heads where we are looking at a backlog of requests that they have made to each other. And we're going to get the backlog. It sounds boring and tedious, but we're going to remove the backlog before we start doing any major innovations together, because that backlog is causing distrust between the 2 teams. And I know through experience and through research and through all the science that is out there, that trust is your foundation for really building innovation capacity and encouraging innovation within your team. When we take on new leadership roles, we sometimes think that we're going to do the sort of Bill Clinton of leadership. We're going to lead through charisma. People have said that when they've been in a room with Bill Clinton, they felt like he was talking to them directly, like it was a deep personal relationship. And whatever it was that Bill Clinton was able to do to be able to have that level of charisma and really produce that sense of being seen, being heard, being valued, that is really valuable, but that's not a great starting point for a new leader. If as a leader you're looking to be able to create innovation, one of the most effective ways to do that is through what relative to the charisma may seem like a mundane process, but it's the process of coordinating action. It's the process of soliciting are encouraging offers from people. It's the process of making clear requests from people, getting real commitments from people, and orchestrating that network of commitments across an organization, creating it, seeing it, understanding it, managing it, carefully cultivating it, helping people resolve the breakdowns when the failures happen, helping people at velocity get through the process and learn what it is that they need to learn. So as you start thinking about how can leaders encourage innovation, recognize that a lot of your role is really the orchestrator of a network of commitments. And whenever you show up as either a customer in the process or as a performer in the process, make sure that you're the one who is really adhering to the practice with a level of discipline and a level of wisdom and a level of experience that will allow other people to be able to see you in action, really doing a very high and very professional and very trust-based level of coordination with them. I have another video for you that I think will help you as you start thinking about how do leaders encourage innovation. It's called How to Encourage Innovation as a Team. It approaches this question from a slightly different perspective and kind of builds it out and enhances it a little bit. I strongly recommend that you look at it and let me know how it works for you. Let me know if you have any questions on the process. And as you embark on this journey for yourself or you enhance your capacity in this space, let me know how you're doing. Let me know I can help you. I'd love to hear, and I wish you the absolute best of luck. This is a totally worthwhile endeavor. Good luck and take care.